Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to another episode of Jacob Walks Over a Bridge. I'm Jacob. I'm currently walking over a bridge, and live from New York, it's Jacob walking over a bridge. Sorry if that's a little too much deja vu for you. To make matters worse, I was almost going to do this next episode over the Queensboro Bridge again. Another repeat. I mean, what is this, 2019? Season 1? But no, I am on my way to Williamsburg. I guess technically this is probably the most efficient way. At least that's what Google says. I am walking now over the Pulaski Bridge between Queens and Brooklyn, going from Queens to Brooklyn. So it's probably going to be a short one this time. But Google recommended going over the Queensboro Bridge and then hooking right, or I guess hooking left, down directions, hard. I'm walking south now towards Williamsburg, and I'm on my way there to see an art installation by a friend of mine from my summer camp days, who I promised I would go to back. It's probably I think it was, I want to say like July 3rd or something like that, when it was the day I walked over the George Washington Bridge to eventually end up in Jersey City, where he initially asked if I wanted to come visit, because he knows I have a propensity for long adventures, and so I just started a nice long walk. But sorry, I had to stop because people don't know that on the Pulaski Bridge there's a nice pedestrian way, and then a side for wheeled vehicles. And it would probably hurt me a lot more than it hurts the scooter to get hit, so I got out of their way. But I remember when I walked over this bridge for the first time on the podcast anyway, last year, and I looked up and I'd seen the name of the bridge beforehand, and I couldn't remember the name. The only thing I could remember was that it was the same name as the name of a doctor from Star Trek, which I guess is an odd way of remembering the name of a bridge. I mean, then again, Dr. Pulaski didn't have the most celebrated time on Star Trek. I think people liked her character, but she was just there. She was the replacement for the other doctor, and then she got replaced by that doctor. So things didn't really turn out in her favor on the show. But this is the Pulaski Bridge, and you're also in for a treat, because this is going to be a 2 podcast type of day, including a brand new bridge later tonight. I'm not going to spoil it now to say which, though chances are if you're seeing this episode, it'll be posted around, if not at the same time as the following episode, considering when I get around to posting these. Still haven't posted the one from before this, so it's going to be a 3 episode drop whenever I do end up getting around to it. But it's going to be a new bridge with a special guest. It's been years in the making, theoretically speaking. I mean, I've been doing this podcast now for years. Crazy to think about when you stop to think about that. It is another beautiful day. I really lucked out when it came to my time off and the weather. Aside from, Tuesday was pretty hot, and there's a little bit of rain on Thursday, but aside from that, yesterday was my birthday. This is my first recording at age 28, but yesterday was a beautiful day. Just getting my steps in all day, every day, everywhere I go. Was not successful in the lotto, though, yesterday. I tend to play the lotto twice a year. Once on my birthday and once on Christmas. I've had a little bit of a problem with gambling, at least with scratch-off tickets in the past, and this is my way of making, of limiting the damage. I mean, I've been luckier than probably I should have been, which also probably leads to the problems I've had. And I remember it was like 2016. Every so often, just like, oh, I'll put a couple dollars into scratch-offs, and not the healthiest habit or the most financially sound habit, but I limit myself to twice a year. And maybe if the Mega Millions is over $1 billion, maybe then it makes sense to go in on something. But this is a way to indulge, but not overindulge. I mean, one could argue that any indulgence is overindulgence, but come on, where's the fun in that? But yeah, I did. Usually when I do scratch-offs, I usually try to at least start out playing in groups of 3, at least, maybe one of the 3 tickets will be a winner. And then you go on from there and try to go on a run. At least trying to make back what you put in and then some. Which in the past has, mixed results. That work sometimes not. When I played this past time, it was an instance of it didn't work out so great in my favor. Didn't win anything. But $10 is a lot in some cases, but in other cases it's something, for a birthday treat, there are worse things. I mean, you can spend $10 on a lot of things these days. So I'm already into Brooklyn. I have passed over the Newtown Creek, making my descent into, I guess this is Greenpoint, I want to say. Neighborhoods are fluid. I do believe this is Greenpoint. And I'll be crossing over to Williamsburg. See, sometimes I wish I was around when they named all these streets. Like, I'm looking down now, like there's a Box Street crossing McGinnis Boulevard. I want to know, who McGinnis was and who was boxing stuff on that other street. And somehow those industries and the people were important enough to warrant making street names after them. Just kind of wish I was there for that moment. Put in my 2 cents. I walk past the dog. You gotta say hi when you walk past the dog. That's the rules. I don't make them. I just follow them. But anyway, I'll probably end it there. That's probably a good place to do it. I'm gonna go maneuver my way around Brooklyn now shortly. This is I'm gonna eventually end up back in Queens, but this is gonna be an adventure. I love adventures, you know me. Adventure is my middle name. On that note, this is Jacob Adventure Albrecht signing off, saying good day and good night.